Blast me to the mortal realms! It's time for the Mad Merlins Warhammer Age of Sigmar video review of Stormbringer, issue 30 by Hachette Partworks and Games Workshop. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Stormbringer issue review. So today we have issue 30 and we have our second set of the Hobgrot Slittaz. So yeah, apologies, I am having to refilm this issue after an update on my phone has decided to wipe some of my more recent filmed footage, but has for some reason kept stuff that I filmed a while ago. So yeah, I'm now having to refilm this issue just to help catch up, so I'm not going to be able to open it up, but we have it here nonetheless. So before we dive into anything, don't forget to, of course, like the video if you are enjoying the content, and if you are, please do consider subscribing if you don't already do so, as it helps the channel and community grow. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, there's links in the video description down below, including the Mad Merlins Patreon, and there's of course that comment section down below where you can drop me a little comment to let me know how you're getting on with your Stormbringer collection. So yeah, we'll dive into the issue, we'll have a look at our frames, and yeah, we'll start by having a look at the front cover. So we have a beautiful picture of a Dark Oath War Queen then. So we have the Hobgrot Slittaz, 10 little dudes with nasty knives. We learn about the Slaves to Darkness, and we also have our first set of objective markers. So yeah. Right, let's take a look then at the models on the frames, and then we'll take a look through issue 30. So here we have the Hobgrot Slittaz, and it's the exact same sprue that we had the last time. So yes, we get our 10 25mm slaughter bases here. So we'll just put those to one side. And we'll take a look at the frames. So we'll start with a double frame here. And yeah, we got our two different bodies for our boss. We got all the bodies for our individual grots, and each one has a few options. We have either a hornblower or a drummer, which is on the same frame actually somewhere. I just can't see it at the moment. There he is. So yeah, we got a drummer or a hornblower. So I believe the build guide, we are actually building the opposite stuff to what we built last time. So I think last time we built the champion with a hook, the banner in the left hand, so we're building the banner in the right hand this time. And I believe we built the drummer last time, so we're doing the hornblower this time. Yeah, nicely detailed models anyway. Plenty of options, so you can make each one look a little more individual. And yeah, just a nice little filler unit for our army. And then we have our smaller frame here, which has the banner bearers on. So we've got the choice of either a right-handed banner here or the left-handed one there. And yeah, can't quite remember which one we built last time, but I think we are definitely building the opposite one this time around. So yeah, still loads of rather characterful models in this unit. Right, let's bring in issue 30 and we'll take a dive through. So here we have issue 30. We've already gone through the front cover, but we have 10 Hobgrot Slittaz. We learn about the Slaves to Darkness, and we start to use objective markers in our games. So our full contents are the Slaves to Darkness. We start looking at Forbidden Magic, Stubborn Oaths, a story involving the Dwarden. We have our build and collect and paint articles for our second unit of Hobgrot Slittaz, core rules page 10, objective markers, tutorial, and we have Caravan of Carnage. So we start looking at the Slaves to Darkness. The Slaves to Darkness are mortals who serve the Chaos Gods. Each warrior walks a dark path. Through acts of violence and worship, they gain the blessings of their patrons and grow stronger. The very greatest are gifted demonical immortality, so they may forever terrorize the mortal realms. Here we have some of the well-known Slaves of Darkness, the Sisters of Kagra's Ravagers. So we have Kagra there, who is a barbarian chieftain clad in Chaos Warplate, and her sister there is a Chaos Wizard. And they have a couple of bodyguard guys, one with 2 axes, one with an axe and shield there. Yeah, they are often clans of humans. Some are barbaric, some are slightly civilized, but still rather monstrous, depending on the gods they particularly worship. Yeah, here we have bloody origins, so the mortal realms are littered with clans of people who worship the gods. They live short, brutal lives in service to their gods, fighting among each other and raiding the other realms and civilizations. Many, of course, will die, but those who live become hardened veterans. There are the ironclad tyrants, the warriors of chaos, who bear giant warplate, demonic weapons, and ride demonic steeds. So, there are 2 ways of becoming immortal in the service to a chaos god. One is the not very nice becoming a chaos spawn, where you're often slung at the enemies and hope that you either kill as much as you can or you die, because you have displeased the gods most likely, and so they've turned you into a rather hideous monster. But the best way of gaining power and eternal service is to become a demon prince, where your chosen patron has elevated you to demonic godhood almost. And yeah, you will forever live out your life as a general in the armies of chaos. So yeah, becoming a demon prince, you can't die, but you can be banished back to the realm of chaos. Next up, we continue our little section into the lore of magic in the mortal realms, and this looks at forbidden magic. Not all magic is good. Several forms of magic exist in the realms that are dark and dangerous to all who wield them. Thankfully, this guide is at hand. So yeah, we start looking at the different types of magic. So acceptable spells are those deemed correct and studied and taught by the collegiate arcana. Uncivilized sorcery, so stuff like the Wa or the energies of the Slan, are roughly more to do with brute force than anything else. And then, of course, there are demonic magics, which can be very manipulative. They can even work their way into legal magic tomes and help bring out the downfall of a city. So yeah, watch out for your books if they have extra eyes in them. Moving on, we have a nice little short story where the Dwarden start to discuss the importance of oaths. The Dwarden are stalwart, loyal, and proud to a fault. However, each great clan of Dwarden, the Caradron, Fireslayers, and Dispossessed, has its own different ideas on what honour means, even when death is on the line. So yeah, nice little short story. We see the points of views of a Caradron, a Dispossessed, and a Fireslayer, and what they exactly think about oaths and breaking them. Pretty cool. So next up then we have our unit page for our second unit of Hobgrot Slittaz. We got the usual, give them a name, give them your traits, and then fill out all your details here. But yeah, pretty cool. Moving on, we got our build guide. So yeah, we are building our Hobgrot boss, who has the 2 knives and the helmeted head there. We are building the right hand banner with the stick bomb in hand, and we are building the trumpeter here. And then we build our other Hobgrots, and I believe they have alternate heads from the last set we built. So yeah, pretty cool. And they'll look pretty different compared to the previous set. Our paint guide is much the same as the previous one, and I still don't agree that we are basing it with orc flesh. We have Avalanche Sunset. You could wash them with that and then darken it down with either Reichman Flesh Shade or Agrax Earth Shade to make a more grotty Hobgrot sort of colour. But there is also Hobgrot Hide available if you want to go out and pick up a pot of that. That is the perfect skin tone for your grots. But yeah, we are using Catachan Flesh for all the wood, Wraithbone for some ropes, Cornred for other ropes, Leadbelcher for all our metal, and Runelord Brass for some of the smaller metal details, just to help break up that silver. And we have a completed gallery here of our Hobgrots. Make sure you check each model carefully in case you've missed any details. But they're pretty easy, small models, you should be okay. Alright, moving on then, so we have rules. So we start learning about garrisons and how we can join them, leave them, and even demolish a building. And we also have the rules for objectives and objective markers and how to contest and control them. Then we have a tutorial on how to use an objective marker. So here we have a unit of Vindictors controlling an objective marker. Even after they move away, they are still deemed to be under control of it because they controlled it in the previous turn. And then we have what constitutes as different scores to the objectives. So models that have at least 5 wounds count as 2 models when contesting an objective. Models that have more than 5 but aren't classed as monsters will also count as 2, and monsters that have the monster keyword will count as 5 models for contesting objectives. So we see all our models that we are getting in the future. So the Storm Drake Guard, which are one of the last issues, Spirit of Durfu there, Aelguz Gargant, and yeah, all our different characters that we get in. So finally then we have our mission for the issue, which is Caravan of Carnage. We have the Lord Imperator, Knight Arcanum, 5 Vindictors, Stormstrike Chariot, 6 Gryph-hounds and 4 Praetors. Facing off against Zarbag, the killer boss, Zarbag's Gits, Hobgrot Slittaz, 2 units of, 10 3-man Skewer Bolt Boys, and 10 Gut Rippers. So on the back page you see we have a set of 6 objectives. What I suggest you do, roughly cut around them, glue them down with some either PVA or a Pritt stick to some nice thick card. I often use corrugated card just because it makes it easier for picking up off a table. Then cut around them a lot closer to their actual point. We also have little circles in the center so we can know where the center of the objective is for measuring purposes, which is very handy. So yeah, here we have our deployment for our mission. So we got 3 objectives across the middle. 4 pieces of terrain have been placed out as well. We score 1 point if we control at least 1 objective marker, an extra point if we control 2, and we score 1 point if we control more than our opponent. And once per battle round, you may choose a friendly unit within 6 inches of an objective marker. That unit can use a command ability without spending a command point because they found the valuable loot. So yeah, very good. Moving on then, so issue 31, we get our Vigilors, we learn about the Seraphon, and of course we have a new mission. So yeah, these are bow and sword wielding Stormcast that sort of scout ahead of the main Stormcast force. Yeah, looking forward to getting those guys. Issue 32 though, we get one of our biggest issues yet. We get a massive 20 Moon Clan shooters. We learn about the 8 points, and we also start looking at the core rules on magic. So yeah, these are classic actual grot models. The Moon Clan goblins. So yeah, these guys can be built as shooters or stabbers. So if you want to build up 1 unit of each, get yourself 2 copies of this issue. You can, if you want, build 10 as stabbers and 10 as shooters. You get enough for a couple of different command models. So we get different banners, noisemakers, champions, you even get netters. Yeah, plenty of bows and arrows for everybody. So I'll just bring everything back in and I'll give you my final thoughts on that issue. So then we have Stormbringer issue 30, and yeah, a rather nice issue. Nice that we're looking at one of my favourite Chaos factions, the Slaves of Darkness. We get some more Hobgrots to add to our collection and bulk out our Force of Destruction army. And yeah, it's a rather pretty cool issue. We start learning about objectives and how important they are to gameplay. And yeah, the future does look quite nice. We've got some awesome models in the form of the Vigilers and those classic Night Goblin models. And we are going to start looking at proper rules for Magic as well, which is going to be interesting. So yeah, rather good issue. All of these issues have been pretty good actually. But yeah, nice little bit of information. Build and paint guides are all nice and crystal clear. Even though I do disagree with how they've painted the Hobgrots there. So let me know what you thought of that issue in the comment section down below. Have you got on with building your Hobgrot Slittaz? And how did you paint them? What issue are you looking forward to in the coming future? As I mentioned in the last issue, I'm looking forward to starting the Sylvaneth with that beautiful Arc Revenant model. A model I've been planning to pick up and paint for quite some time. So I'm definitely looking forward to building him. He might be the first model I build since issue 5. Yeah, I haven't built anything since issue 5. That's how bad my backlog is for this series. But I'm just waiting for them to start using the painting the models how the Iron Fane's colour scheme, which probably won't be until we start returning to the Stormcast in a few later issues. Probably around the 40-45 mark. But hopefully it doesn't take too long. Once we've got all the colours and we start getting more and more models, we'll hopefully have different tutorials on how to paint certain different sub-factions. So yeah, there we have it. That was issue 30. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time for more Stormbringer issue reviews. Thank you again, and goodbye.